So, thank you, Nancy Lee, tonight, watching our lovely Chrissy, suggested to check out Uncle Blazer's Twitter thread about the riots. So I went to Twitter. It's this Uncle Blazer that you want, because there's several. Fascinating read on the riots. The scariest part to me is how many of us are thinking along the same lines, the same type of deduction and insight, watching behavior and watching Donald and watching the headlines and seeing what happens. This pinned thread is the one you want, about Trump having the motive, opportunity, and means to start a race war designed to cause infection, death, and incarceration of black voters. So I decided I'm going to do an in-depth Tarotscope with this quarter moon lunation on Derek Chauvin, whatever his name is. He's gross. We had this quarter moon, Friday, May 29th, 11:31 p.m. I asked Derek, who are you? What's your identity with this quarter moon? Seven of Swords, going to get away with something. The clarifiers. We have the Magician, the Hermit, the Seven of Wands. To me, this just screams that he was part of a larger op. He was going to be the Magician, or he thought he would be the revolutionary. He's under investigation. He's kind of on the defense, but he's intending to get away with this. I saw a picture on that Twitter thread of him at a Trump rally, front and center, 3 of them on stage with him. There's no coincidence. The cards on the bottom, we have the Six of Cups and the Chariot. From the past, get things moving. I'd like to point out here, the astrology on the ascendant here, the thing giving life to this chart, the thing giving life to Derek, the second house of owning and sacrifice. He being the sacrifice. We go to the second house of owning, Capricorn I use. This used to be the Kim Jong-un KJU card. This is the first time it has shown up since mid-April. He's showing up a lot in the Tarotscopes, but I think it's related to news coming out, the North Korean bankers that were caught. A lot going on with the sister. It's almost like they're trying to revive something from the past, and now that I think of that, to have the Six of Cups nostalgia and having things on the move, I wonder if this is like an unfinished project. They needed a sacrificial lamb on the world stage. Look at, the tarot said the Ten of Cups on the ascendant, which is the Republican Party. So then I asked him, what are your secrets? He has the Judgment card. Okay, this is what I think this Judgment card is of his secret. Before he went out and did that, he was wanted to do something important that would be supportive for Donald, to stop whatever's going on. He wanted to do something. 12th house, that's very martyrdom-esque. I said in the new moon in Gemini, the way Mars in Pisces creates wannabes and martyrs. I think that's what he's up to. Looking at the clarifiers, this is him trying to be in a supportive role to end something because of the courts or the scrutiny he was having, or because he was impeached, everything. And then the Nine of Wands, that's his hidden enemy. He's got a broken agreement. He's been arrested. But there's an agreement now broken, I think, because he's behind bars. So he had this judgment that was going to end up playing out on the world stage, along with his hidden enemy and his burden. Here's this King of Cups again, being in a supportive position. That's what the tarot said. Holy crap, this guy, this is what the tarot chose. The King of Cups and Nine of Wands as the secret, the Page of Swords as the hidden enemy. This is him. This is freaking him. Oh my God. Oh my God, the more that I look at this, this is fixed. The tarot drew these cards in the 12th house. That is Derek Chauvin. Coincidentally, we have the Uranian planet Cupid here, which is agreement. Oh my God, it is 2, look at the numbers, 2 degrees. He had the 2 of Cups here as a clarifier. We have a 2. Oh my God. Donald, in this 12th house, he had the Page of Swords and the Knight of Cups. If this is Derek Chauvin, he's like a spy. Donald knows he did this for him. This is why Derek Chauvin is going to get off. This was so staged. That's how it's looking right now. I don't know who this is, David Michaels. Front and center pony. Derek Chauvin's hands are in his pockets because they're saying, here it is. There's a perverse doctrine called qualified immunity. If an officer injures or kills someone in a new way, they usually get off and are not subject to civil penalties. And the Supreme Court is going to decide soon whether or not to reconsider this. And having his hands in his pockets kind of gives him qualified immunity. Now remember, this is the card. This is the card for the first house of identity. The astrology said, look at to the 11th house of friends. He's planning to get away with something related to his 11th house of friends. We look up here to the 11th house of friends. We had the Grand Cross Provoker. So if Derek Chauvin is a friend, and for a friend, he's going to be a world-class provoker. This is Speaker Pelosi. Because the clarifiers were the Emperor, Donald, having a tower moment because of moneyed news. Tax news coming out. We don't know if we're going to get it from the Supreme Court. I'm sure this guy, he is pissed about the Supreme Court stuff going on. That's what this is about. The clarifiers on the Queen of Wands. Temperance, the King of Cups, the Knight of Cups. I wanted to know what this blending had to do with. What is he trying to distill here? Well, we have the King of Wands, leadership, a male. Is he a person in leadership? During the protests, going to do something to help the cause. He's going to be the leader. He's going to be the one who supports. He's going to act and make an offering. Because look here. The eclipse has the 10 of Wands here, the burdens. This 10 of Wands here as well. The 10 of Wands here, I believe this is Semyon Mogilevich. Look at all these burdens that are being carried across here. This is such a heavy burden, what has happened with this impeachment, the taxes that have been coming out. This is just too much for, they all feel it on the right. And of course, Putin and all have been stoking them for weeks now, ripening them up to get them ready because these burdens are too much to bear anymore. So what's crowning Derek? The skies of Washington, D.C. this week we have the King of Swords. Those are the courts being charged. He's going to have a hearing. The eclipse activated the Ace of Wands, the action. But here's the thing. This guy is so smug. He sees himself kind of being a hero for the cause because of what's happening to America. And believes he is going to be okay. He'll be comfortable. He'll be secure. Because the clarifiers on the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Trump. He believes the Trump campaign will make it go away, and he'll make it go away quickly. This is what's crowning him. The 9th house, lands, far away, long distance travel. It also has to do with philosophy. It also has to do with fanaticism, extremists. So this guy is fanatical about the Trump dynasty. That is his philosophy. This guy is crazy. The clarifiers, the high priestess. This is like a spiritual experience for him. This is like his religion and philosophy. Trump. He would do anything as a soldier if he got the mixed messages, to betray, maim, hurt. This 8th house has to do with shared resources, life, death, transformation, things that are taboo. He has the 2 of Swords. Made a decision, separating people, acting out during protests to make the divide bigger with race relations. The astrology said 12th house escape. The 12th house has to do with jail. Is he literally going to escape jail? The clarifier is the Fool. He was charged, but he'll probably get out because there's going to be a change in heart, a change of course of what's happening to him, because that's what the message is coming in. He is counting on this to come through for him. He's going to get out. And do no time. That was on the bottom. And if there wasn't a doubt, he is the Page of Swords. Derek is the impulsive, the spy. The spy. He is a spy for the Trump camp. This is the area of partnerships or open adversaries. He's decided to partner up. That's his job. The tarot drew the Lovers. Astrology said missing / void, of course. So that tells me what he did was pre-planned. He didn't need the moon and the lunations to guide what he was doing. Nope. He had a partnership, Lovers, to act out. This was premeditated. And don't forget, over here in the 12th house, Donald, his secret was the Page of Swords. The astrology said, the tarot said the King of Cups with the Nine of Wands was the secret. The hidden enemy was the Page of Swords. And there we go. That's him. The clarifiers are for the happy Nazi white supremacist family. You know how I've said this 4 of Cups? This is not an offer. This is something I'm going to do to you and you're going to like it or else. Like dig my knee into your neck. And that was the action that he chose to do. Xi Jinping has the Ace of Swords. That is an assault. That is the mental aspect, the psyops that are going on with these protests. This area of the chart, Leo, I will. He's a public servant. The eclipse summoned the devil. Leo, I will. There's the messenger. There's Hades. The 8s. Remember I said the 8s were really important. This area of public servants, we have a knight. This is Xi Jinping would make sure that there was an offering for him. Donald had the yes tower. There would be a tower. Derek drew the no card. No, I am not a public servant. I am not going to take your laws and rules and follow them. This is a Sagittarius card, which rules the law. So he's like, there's no laws. I'm not listening to that. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Watch. Yep. There's the Knight of Cups with the protests. Xi Jinping has a Knight of Cups. The devil is unleashed on the Queen of Cups, America. 5th house of the sun. This is the Photos house. Venus is retrograde. His blind love for Photos. Venus retrograde is cruel. Loves cruelty. When it's misbehaving like this with groups and masses. We have the North Node there. This is his purpose, he says. So much so, I will kill for you. I will cause heartbreak. I will be the one who gets caught. Here's the Hermit for Donald, I'm going to help him solve and investigate this problem. The protest, there's the Ace of Cups. It's a Russian op. The clarifiers on this heartbreak he is causing, he feels very proud of this. It's the nightmare he's causing, looking where, when, how to do it. That's his secret allegiance. 2, the 10 of Pentacles, Trump dynasty. 4th house of defense. The defense will change. He'll walk away. The clarifiers, the 3 of Wands, he's expecting that result because he is a leader, he is an officer, and he's doing his service for Donald. He expects comfort and security. The 4th house here in DC has, the tarot said, the power and money. The Ace of Pentacles is the defense. The astrology said Pluto transformation. Death, reverse. Transforming the decision on death. It'll happen quickly. 3rd house, communications, neighborhoods. Transactions, the Merchant, electronic communications, the Magician, the Sage. He has a 7 of Pentacles here. Like what he did and who he is, this was an investment. I get the feeling that he is a Gemini and this real estate is owned by Gemini. I feel like there's Gemini and Capricorn in him. His face, he very much has a Gemini look to him. Those blue eyes, maybe some Aquarius in him. But long, tall, and the long bone structures looks Capricorn, Saturn. And embodied in a police uniform, that's so oppressive. It screams white supremacist to me. I feel like this card that he drew was the investment that he made. He's waited his whole life to do this. The tarot has a high priestess, his big secret. If he's invested in himself, he's expecting payoff. He did a really wonderful, majestic thing for the Photos. Here we have the star, the Photos. Office of the President of the United States. This guy's going to hate it when Biden rolls in as president. The 2nd house of income gains values. I use. There's that sign of Capricorn. We have Saturn in the 1st. He's very oppressive in that negative Saturn Capricorn way. He drew the Knight of Cups. He's going to use his resources and go all in to help Donald. So he's taken action for the president because he knows the president is underwater. He thinks it's unfair. This I find interesting. This is on the bottom of the deck, the 8 of Pentacles reversed. You know, when I see this, I think bad data. He's sloppy. He is sloppy. Donald drew the 8 of Pentacles reversed here. So either he's sloppy or that guy's not going to get paid. He's going to act like, I don't know you. We have no data. We have no connection together. The tarot said things are going to happen quickly here. Judgment goes out the door. That is Xi. That's prejudice. Yeah, so this guy's a piece of work. Oh, let's look at the ascendant really quick. Find out more about what's giving life to this whole week for him. So if you want to think like the card of the reading, that's what the ascendant is. This is what's giving him life this week, why he did what. The Six of Cups, nostalgia. Because Donald was impeached, it's a massive burden to bear. And as a police officer, he had to take matters in his own hands, you know, for the happy white family. Chariot was on the ascendant. What's giving him life? Well, I think of an officer in a vehicle. I think about the chariot as one's defense. Also out of control. Out of control, abusing his power for a higher cause to support POTUS, creating an outrage. He doesn't believe in the hoax. He doesn't believe any of the fake, quote, fake news. All in the name of dear POTUS. This guy's a creep. Okay, so that is him this week. This guy's really sick in the head. I would like to know more about how he knows Donald, why he was up on that stage. Hopefully I'll be able to look at that. Wow, so I found out that Derek Chauvin was born on March 19th, 1976. I do not know where he was born. I just used a location of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I just set this for 12 o'clock noon. He is a Pisces. Look at this. Sun at 29 degrees Pisces. The North Node and Gemini, Sagittarius are squaring that sun right now. It was go time for him. His North Node is 13 degrees Scorpio. Oh, look at his Neptune. 13 Sagittarius. That, you know, if Sagittarius has to do with the law, Neptune has to do with confusion, idealism, deception. Right now that is in square to transit Neptune at the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. So at that Saturn-Pluto conjunction, there was a decisive shift in the way he thought and believed and fantasized about the law. The moon is in Scorpio near that North Node. His moon ranges anywhere from like 13 to 27 degrees Scorpio. It's attached to the North Node. His Saturn is in 26 degrees Cancer. It is opposite transit Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. His Mercury is in Pisces, which when he gets going and believing he's a martyr, absolutely, that he has a higher calling, that he has, remember that high priestess, the veil has been lifted, this is his job. He's a martyr. He loves this idea of being a martyr too. But that Uranus, though, I wonder, something got triggered here. I wonder if his moon is closer to this North Node, because a transit Uranus would make this pop and make him suddenly act on a whim against an adversary. The wounded healer, his Chiron, the wound he has to heal, is at 25 degrees Aries right now. That is in square to the natal U.S. Mercury. So he does not agree with the philosophies of what our country has been founded on. And his wound is love for Donald. That's been in square to Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. So it's been tested. He just felt like he had to take the reins and do what he had to do. Gross.